side up right there. When you block the tongue, make sure there's a piece of wood underneath it so we don't hurt the steel pipe. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the angle of the tongue as high as we possibly can, putting the tongue really high and the tail really low. And that straightens out the jacks so that when you pull the sub off, there's a less chance of damaging the back thrusters. So let's see how high we can go. Okay, so that looks pretty high right there. So now we're going to move over to the back. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lower the jacks down. So this right here is just pulling the pin and pivoting them until they're straight up and down. And then crank her down. Now, since we want the back of the sub to be low, we're only going to put these down so that they touch and add a little pressure. See right there, it's not touching. And right there it is. And then we just do one more. That's enough right there to hold it nice and tight. We have two jacks, and this right here is the same as the other one, except now you actually want to try to get the sub level. So we use one side or the other to level it, either by dropping and raising. In this case, it's low on this side, so I'm going to add it so it's loose. There's one crank, and then I'm going to add two more. 1, 2, and now the sub is a lot more level. Next thing we're going to do is take off these ramps right here. This one is bent, and so it's under a lot of tension, so it's a lot harder to take it off and requires a lot more twisting effort, but it's worth it because that way we don't lose it down the street. Brandon and I are going to put the ramps on, and what we do is you grab onto one, pull it all the way out, wait till you're balanced and lift it, then you got to get a long arc, and then you see these little dowels on the end right there? They fit right inside these horns, just like that, and then you double check it, like that. That's how you make them fit. You're never going to get it up there. I've learned that lesson. So now the very next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off these two yellow straps right here. The way you do that is you grab onto this handle right here and you pull straight down. You see it moves? Open it all the way up, all the way until it gets really hard, and then keep pushing with your hand in the back of it here, and then you unlock it. Then you can grab onto it behind. Careful, you will pinch your fingers. Grab onto the flat spot, not the ratchet, but the flat spot, and pull it forward until you see it loosen up. And you see there's two hooks right here. You'll move the top hook first, like that, and then the second one comes off, easy peasy. These yellow straps right here stay on the sub. And so then what I do is I take these and I move them off to the side and back of the wheel, and then we do the other one. Once again, you pull on this till it opens all the way up. Pull out the horn of the top one first. There, that's the first thing that's gone easy all morning, so yay! Knock on wood. Okay, so when we move the sub off the ramp, we want the back of the sub to be as low as possible, the sub trailer, and the top of the sub trailer to be as high as possible, And that way this slope right here is relatively straight. And if it is straight, then we have less of a chance of actually striking this. If you strike the thrusters, it'll be right here on this edge first. So when you're lowering the sub, have somebody look at the back of the thrusters right here. Okay, the controller for the trailer is right here inside this gray box, which is the single most important box. And the controller itself fits, as you can see, it's a XLR key with a button, and it goes in with the key facing the truck like that. And now this is the controller right here, and obviously this is cable in, cable out. Thank you, baby. Okay, just remember the very next step you do after you take off the back yellow straps is to take off the front yellow straps. And it's the same ratchet mechanism, but this time we're going to pull it downwards. Pull it down all the way, and then you get in back of it and you give it a pull until it comes out of the horn and then comes out here. So once again, I'll just lay it in front of the tire. Now we do the next one. Same story. In front of the tire. I always put things in the same place, that way I know where they're at. Okay, so it's very important on this next, oops, here in the sun.
I'm trying to get out.
It's very important in the next step that you have somebody watching the back of the sub while you're unloading the tension on the crane. The winch, as you know, has in and out. Right now your main button is going to be out because you're going to be lowering it down. Now you see right here we don't have enough angle and the gravity didn't push the sub, so let's try to raise the nose higher. Now just give the sub a gentle push and see if this cable goes tight. Okay, there, it's tight. So now you see Brandon's going to push on the bow of the sub while we try to push it down, and I'm going to help him. You can get over that side, it's okay. Make you a hero. In movies. Okay, ready?
Ready.
You see how I'm doing it in segments. I'm only hitting the button for about a half a second. That way we don't let the sub get too far ahead of us. Okay, now the back wheel is starting to go over the edge and should really tighten up and be able to feed itself now. If you notice, Brandon is sitting up here on the nose. Here. Brandon is putting pressure on the bow, and that prevents the front wheels from coming up. And if the front wheels do come up, then what happens is the thrusters are going to smash into the ground. So putting pressure on the bow is very important. Oh, here we go. Carrie asked if she wanted to stay recording because you're about ready to watch us struggle and this is all part of it. Now we're at the terminator of launching the sub, which is real bitch because now you just got to push like crazy. Do yourself a favor, slack the cable now, otherwise you're fighting a cable and you're going to lose. You ready, buddy?
Yep.
Okay, cable's tight.
Yep.
Let some more cable out. Push like crazy. Careful. Okay, we're done.
Okay.
Yeah, you see how easy that was? Okay, so now, you can get it right up in here. The next thing we're going to do, of course, is release the cable.